Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we are going to invite you to the city's Diversity College. And before you run off, let me explain what that is. Actually, I'm not going to explain. I'm going to introduce you to Latiesha Handie, and she will explain. Welcome back, Latiesha.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure, Robin.
Diversity College sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like some sort of crazy left-wing social thing where you're going to like reprogram my brain.
Oh, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take all the old information out and put you, no, not at all. Definitely not. I think that when you hear the term Diversity College, it does seem extent to the point of, oh my goodness, I'm going to require curriculum.
College sounds like work.
Yeah. College sounds like work, and it's not intense in that manner. It's actually very conversation-led, but we are providing a multi-level learning experience where people can share and also receive information about different facets of diversity.
And it's done a lot of times, though, in a sort of personal way where people in the group or speakers can share from their point of view things. So it's not so much like you're reading a book and being told how to feel. It's just you talk about people's feelings and people's experiences.
Yes, most definitely. So we do a lot of exploring lenses, layers, and legacies of attendees. And of course, our facilitators allow for a safe environment to share those thoughts about how we navigate through life. What does it look like from different people's perspectives? What are we looking at as social experiences or cultural norms? How we navigate in and out of different social circles. So we definitely take the time to just elaborate on personal experiences as well as receiving information that could be thought-provoking in situations as we continue to navigate through life.
Okay, so is this going to be threatening to someone who belongs to, you know, kind of a majority group that's had some social advantages along the way?
I definitely appreciate your question. You always throw one out there where am I sensitive on this one, or do I just speak from the heart? So I'll take the latter. I definitely want to put the narrative in that we create safe spaces for all people to learn and grow, where it doesn't feel as if we are ostracizing or singling out anyone because of their personal or what seems to be perceived advantages, because we believe that all people have advantages. It's just your social experience. And so we explore those things to look at how we can learn from you. What was different as you being the majority or as you being the minority? We come into a very binary as far as black and white when we talk about this topic, and it is not such.
I think that's important because, I mean, there are stereotypes about Appalachia, for example, and that might be, you know, white males, but they have been disadvantaged. Rural people have been disadvantaged in some other ways, too. And it isn't just male, female, black, white. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of, well, there's shades in between of everything now, but age, and at some point, age discrimination or generational differences affect people.
Absolutely, and those are the things that we try to capstone on, especially in our Diversity College Level 1. We kind of give that prerequisite of understanding diversity from a base level. Then we go into generational diversity. We talk about disability awareness. We also even look at the cultural ethnicity differences that you're talking about now, because there are those different managements of diversity in those different social circles.
So tell me, so if I'm coming at this, you know, from a somewhat skeptical perspective, let's say, why should I want to go to Diversity College? What is going to, what is the reason people should come?
Because information is the new wealth. I believe that you cannot navigate through life without understanding different people, because we definitely are becoming a more multicultural environment, and culture is not just based on race, it's based on how we do things. So just as much as when we get in the elevator and we don't speak to people, that's a cultural norm that may need to be re-examined. Why can't we speak to people on the elevator?
Isn't that funny? Because that is not the culture in City Hall. Everybody talks in City Hall, but you go somewhere else and they don't. I'm like, that's weird. But that is one of those cultures that is different in different places.
Exactly. And information reduces uncertainty. We sometimes operate in our own social circles because it's familiar, because we understand it, because we know how to navigate it. But what if we open ourselves up to the thoughts and the lenses and layers and legacies of those that may not look, think, and feel as we do? And again, diversity is not just based on people, but it's based on experiences, places, different exposures, opportunities. You can talk to people about anything, but you have to be in a space where you know that you can ask questions and not feel as if you're prying or that you're going to be blamed for anything or judged by your questions, because asking those types of questions can be sensitive. And we want to make sure that we provide that in college, that not only are you listening to understand, but we're listening to you to understand.
You know, I think diversity really can be anything. I know when I first came here, I had lived in a small town in Ohio. I'd lived in Montana. I'd lived in southwestern Virginia. I had never lived anywhere with a large military population. That is a completely different culture that I was just unfamiliar with and that I probably had some stereotypes about, but I just didn't understand the impact it would have on our society. It really is its own culture. It's a culture of service and volunteerism and commitment and patriotism and, you know, all these things, and how, you know, people grow up with being world travelers, having lived a number of places, having some social acumen because they're used to meeting people. And some of those are stereotypes and not everybody fits exactly. But if you're completely unfamiliar with a culture like that, you don't always know how to relate to people or understand anything about them. And it can be the same thing about someone who has a different worship, you know, religious tradition than you, or a different background, or speaks a different, you know, grew up speaking a different language or whatever. It isn't about being necessarily politically correct. It's just about learning, really.
Exactly. It's about learning. And just like you were saying with the military example, I came from a military background. So when people meet me and I say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, it's almost thrown back for those that may not have been.
I'm like, you called me old. That's what I think.
Right.
And you didn't say that when I grew up above, you know, in Ohio. So it was not the South. It was not. You don't call people yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, unless you're a little kid.
Exactly. And so for me, it's a term of endearment, of respect. Of I am also saying yes, but also with a respectful mention to your name. So if you are a lady, then it's ma'am. If you are a man, then it's sir. And so for some people, that was different. And because I was able to be in spaces where we could explore those things, I got those, oh, so that's what it is. I'm not old. Yeah.
But it is. It's funny. And there are a lot of things like that that come from people's background and tradition that we just need to understand. And we don't understand, and therefore we make assumptions about it. Latiesha thinks I'm old.
Right. And then you carry that with you. And so that assumption becomes an active thought that could create a wedge.
Right. Now I'm not going to be as nice to her as I was before.
Exactly. That could create a barrier. And so
we have to work together, and that makes us not function well in the workplace.
That's right. That's right. And so when you understand someone's background, you can understand the lens in which they offer commentary, how they offer during seasons time. I know that right now, with everything going on with different holidays and with different acknowledgments, for some people, there may not be times where it's a holiday that you celebrate. You have to be mindful of those things. That me saying no to the potluck is not because I don't want to be involved as a team. It could be that I just don't celebrate that holiday.
That's right. And it doesn't mean that I don't invite you. It doesn't mean that I don't offer it to you. It means that I don't take offense.
Right.
Because you choose to do something different. And it doesn't mean that I can't say Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever my tradition is.
Right.
I'm just respectful of yours as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that sounds fun.
Ooh, I know. And then I'm there. So
I know. You're a good facilitator. And you, I think.
Thank you.
calm people who might be nervous and give those kinds of examples that are sort of easy and non-threatening until people do start talking. See,
right.
we shared, and that was not planned at all.
Not at all. Totally organic. And I appreciate that because I learned something new about you as far as where you came from that we may not have otherwise known. And we work right side by side in the same department. So just having conversation allows you to have information. And so...
It is a good thing, and I think that people should sign up for this. So how do we sign up? You have Diversity College opening up here soon, and you have a limit to how many people can take each session because you don't want to get the group so big you can't have conversations.
Exactly.
So how do I sign up?
So you can visit our website at www.hampton.gov/unity or just hampton.gov/unity. You can also call in to 311 at 727-8311 to register. And if you want to contact the office, 728-3279. That was a lot.
Okay, but that's good. Some people may choose to do it different ways. And this is offered several times a year. So if the different times, sometimes it's during the day, sometimes it's in the evening, you know, for people who work or retired folks or different kinds of things. So if this particular time you don't get in or it's not convenient for you, put your name on a list, go to hampton.gov/notify me and sign up to be alerted for Citizens Unity Commission, which is what you head up and the sponsoring organization for Diversity College, and stay up. Watch e-news, find out whenever else this is going to be offered because it is a wonderful thing.
Right, and come join the conversation.
That's right. However you can do it, come join the conversation. All right, thank you very much, Latiesha.
Thank you, Robin.
And thank you for watching. I now understand that, although she probably does think I'm old, that it wasn't because of the ma'am thing, and that people do have different ways of expressing and having an outlook based on their tradition and culture. So come join the conversation at Diversity College with the Citizens Unity Commission. Thanks for watching.